Are you easily scared? How would you feel about reading ghost stories alone in the dark or watching horror movies in the middle of the night? These are fun activities for many people, especially when it's done with friends. But no matter how brave you are, there are some things you should never do. There are some rules you should never break, especially if they have to do with spirits and summoning the paranormal. One person found out the hard way just how dangerous playing with ghosts can be. What happens next will make your blood freeze. Gather round the fireplace and listen carefully. Let me tell you about a young man named DeWitt. His life was pretty normal until one day, when he invited his friends over to an abandoned farmhouse where he planned to play a game. But it wasn't any ordinary game. It was a summoning ritual, and neither he nor his friends knew what kind of evil they would unleash. So listen closely as I recount the events of that fateful night. Many years ago, in a small village on the outskirts of town, lived a man named Abel. One summer afternoon, he invited his close friends, DeWitt, Selam, Hannah, and Michael, to his family's farmhouse. Now, this house hadn't been used in many years, and rumors said it was haunted. But Abel wasn't afraid. He had brought along a spirit board that he planned to use to talk to the ghosts that lurked within the house. When his friends arrived, they all entered the house together. They placed the board in the center of the room and sat in a circle around it. Dowd was amazed by everything and couldn't help but think of all the ghost stories he had read as a child. This was just a game, right? He tried to convince himself as they each placed their fingers on the planchette. As they did, the air around them started to get colder. Suddenly, the planchette began to move, spelling out the word yes. To say that everyone was surprised would be an understatement. They continued asking questions, and each time the answer that came through the planchette shocked them. After a while, one of the friends asked, "Is there anyone else here?" The reply was unexpected. The planchette spun around, spelling out the word no. Just then, the lights flickered and dimmed. Everyone held their breath, unsure of what would happen next. Suddenly, the candle flames started to dance and flicker erratically. The temperature dropped even further, sending shivers down their spines. Before they knew it, the air grew heavy with tension. The friends were deeply unsettled by the sudden and dramatic changes in the atmosphere. Realizing that the situation was becoming increasingly eerie and unsettling, they decided to call it quits. Quickly, they disconnected the board and scrambled to leave the haunted house. They ran as fast as they could, desperate to escape the oppressive presence that seemed to follow them. However, as they burst through the front door and stumbled into the daylight, they couldn't shake off the feeling that something sinister had been awakened. Little did they know the full extent of the horror that awaited them. With trembling hands, they tried to piece together the mystery of the house. They pored over every old document they could find, determined to uncover the secrets hidden within its decaying walls. As they delved deeper into the history of the house, they uncovered a dark and disturbing truth. The house had once been the scene of unspeakable horrors, and the spirits of the tormented souls still lingered there, seeking solace and revenge. The friends realized with growing horror that they had inadvertently unleashed a malevolent force that refused to rest. They discovered that the house had once been inhabited by a family whose sins had come back to haunt them in the most gruesome ways. The family had been torn apart by greed, envy, and deceit, and their malevolent energy had become a destructive force that trapped those who crossed its path. As they pieced together the fragmented history of the house, they encountered ghostly apparitions and heard disembodied voices that whispered tales of pain and suffering. The spirits reached out to them, desperate to share their tragic stories and warn them of the impending danger. One spirit in particular, a woman named Alma's, became a haunting presence throughout their investigation. She appeared to them in dreams, her face pale and sorrowful, pleading for their help in uncovering the truth behind her untimely demise. Driven by a sense of duty and a desire to set the spirits free, the friends vowed to uncover the truth. They scoured through old records, interviewed the townspeople, and explored the house's hidden chambers. Each step brought them closer to the dark secrets of the past and the malevolent force that bound them there. Their determination led them to a hidden diary that revealed the darkest depths of the family's corruption. The diary chronicled their descent into madness and the horrifying acts they committed in their quest for power and wealth. As they read the chilling accounts, the friends realized that the malevolent entity that had a hold of them was the manifestation of the family's collective evil. They understood that to break the curse, they must confront the darkness head-on and bring it to justice. Armed with the knowledge they had gained, the friends confronted the evil spirit. They called upon the spirits of those they had wronged and demanded that they be set free. The confrontation was intense, with the evil spirit lashing out in a desperate attempt to hold on to its power. The friends were tested as the spirit manipulated their fears and doubts, attempting to break their resolve. However, their determination remained steadfast. They refused to let the evil go unchecked, knowing that it threatened not only their own fates, but the fate of all who entered the house. In a final act of defiance, the friends severed the ties that bound the evil spirit to the house. They banished it from the premises, allowing the tormented souls to finally find peace. With the curse lifted, the house was freed from its grip. As the friends emerged from the house, they felt a sense of relief wash over them. The weight of the curse had been lifted, and they knew that they had done something extraordinary. However, they also carried the scars of their experience, forever changed by what they had witnessed and endured. The memory of the haunted house loomed over them, a constant reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unsuspecting places. The friends knew that their lives would never be the same. The ordeal had forged a bond between them, a shared secret that united them and terrified them in equal measure. They carried the burden of their encounter, unable to shake off the haunting feeling that they had unleashed something they could never fully comprehend. They had stared into the abyss of evil and emerged with their sanity intact, but not without paying a heavy price. The haunted house stood silent now, its secrets buried in the past. But the memory of what transpired within its walls continued to haunt the friends, a chilling tale whispered on the winds of time. So if you ever find yourself drawn to an abandoned house with a dark history, remember the tale of these friends and heed of their warning. For some mysteries are best left unsolved, and some spirits are best left undisturbed. What do you think of this scary story? Let me know in the comments below. Would you ever play a spirit board? What experiences have you had with ghosts or spirits? Share your thoughts and stories. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and keep believing in the paranormal.